What are the stages of awakening for healers? How do you know which stage you're in right now? And why does it seem like you loop back into challenges you thought you already addressed? Awakening isn't one big moment. It's a series of stages that your soul designed to expand you back into your true essence and your soul purpose. When I began my multidimensional awakening in 2008, I kind of thought I had lost my mind. Only later did I realize that I was moving through a natural process that every healer goes through. Ever wonder why some days of your awakening feel blissful, while other days it feels like everything is falling apart? Well, stick around because in this video, I'm going to address the 3 key stages every healer goes through, how to identify where you are on the path, and what to expect and how to navigate each stage. Hi, I'm Aisha Love, a metaphysician and multidimensional guide who's helped thousands of healers around the planet navigate their own awakening, address their shadow, and step fully into their soul purpose. So the first stage is the awakening spark. For me, that spark didn't come as a gentle whisper. It came as a revelation around my father's impending death. No one else knew, but Spirit told me clearly that he would be leaving. That kind of knowing cracked my reality wide open, especially when he did depart. Suddenly, the world wasn't what I thought it was. Awe and grief coexisted in me. The awe of touching a bigger reality, and then the grief of knowing my reality would never be the same, especially with the loss of my father, which then I came to understand was simply a transition into a new kind of relationship. That's what the spark is. It's an initiation. For some, it's a life-altering mystical vision, a profound synchronicity you can't ignore, or a crisis that forces you to see the world differently. In any case, it cracks the shell of the old self wide open. If you're at this stage, feeling alone with all of your new revelations, this is why I created my Awakening Foundations course. Check out the link in the description. So then after this initial spark, the second stage initiates. Something even more profound begins. This is the stage I'll call the shadow descent. So after navigating and integrating my awakening and even beginning to develop my spiritual coaching practice based on it, I had to go through this next very challenging stage, which was to turn and face all my shadow and release who and what I had become. I had to let it all go and release what I thought I knew. That was the beginning of my shadow descent. So essentially, I had to turn and face everything I had avoided: the trauma, the fear, and especially the wounded healer ego. I had to see ways in which I was serving from wounded motivation, to feel worthy, validated, seen, and to rescue others so that I didn't have to feel my own pain. This stage can feel chaotic. Identities crumble, relationships shift or collapse, and your nervous system can feel stretched very thin. Many mistake this stage for failure and quit. But this descent is sacred. It's your soul purging density so your light can land. And this is exactly why I created Awakening Foundations, the course, to give you the tools to move through this shadow stage with clarity and confidence, and frankly, some love and nurture. You can find the link to purchase that in the description. So you've been through the awakening stage. You've been through the shadow descent stage. Where does all this go next? The third key stage is the embodiment and integration stage. After navigating my awakening and my shadow descent, I found myself alone on the side of a mountain in North Carolina. This is where I mastered solitude and being with myself and my deconstructed identity at a completely different level. Also, to walk away from everything I had created was no small task. I was releasing the egoic need to prove myself or be seen. So I thought perhaps my path would remain a quiet retreat. But then Spirit spoke again. Time to come off the mountain, back out. But not as the same person, reformatted, integrated, more whole, and ready to teach more from my soul than from my blind spots of my wounded ego. That's what integration does. It brings us back into the world in a new way. Relationships shift into greater authenticity, our nervous system stabilizes, and fear no longer runs our lives. It's in this space that your higher gifts begin to emerge naturally. Channeling, healing, creating, not from effort, but from alignment. Ultimately, integration opens into unity consciousness, the remembrance that you are not separate from Source. You are a fractal of Source. Now, these stages aren't linear. You're going to spiral through them more than once, each time with more awareness, more resilience, and more access to your soul's wisdom. If you're resonating with this journey and want the tools to walk it with more clarity, confidence, and support, click the link below to check out my Awakening Foundations course. And if you're curious about whether or not you might actually be a healer, I've linked a video where we go deeper into that question. I'll see you there. And remember, awakening is a journey, not a destination.